Hi everyone, I'm Whitney and I post a new sewing tutorial every single Wednesday to help sewers and quilters of all skill levels learn new projects and techniques. This video is part of my sampler sew along series. It's a block of the month style series and I am sharing 12 different traditional quilt blocks so you can sew right along with me and make a sampler quilt from start to finish. If you found this video at random and you want to learn more about the sew along and see any of the videos that you may have missed already up to this point, there is a playlist with all the videos in it linked down below in the description box. And also make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below while you're there so that you don't miss out on any of the future videos in the sew along. Today's quilt block is the Friendship Star. A lot of traditional quilt blocks are based around different star designs, and this is one of the simplest star blocks to make. By the way, I am sharing some of these simpler blocks to start out this sew along so that people who are new at piecing can get a little bit of practice before we move on to the little more difficult blocks that involve a lot more pieces toward the end of the sew along. We're going to start cutting our fabrics. In total, you will need 1 dark and 4 light squares measuring 4.5 by 4.5 inches, and 2 dark and 2 light measuring 5 by 5 inches. If you made the broken dishes block last month, make sure to utilize the remainder of the light colored strip that was used for it. I cut the strip into a 10-inch piece and 2 9-inch pieces, then cut those down into the right size squares. For the dark fabric, I chose a nice tone-on-tone strawberry red. Cut one strip 5 inches by the width of the fabric. Then cut it down into the right size squares. Now we're ready to start piecing. Start by laying out one of the light 5-inch squares right sides up and a dark 5-inch square on top right sides down. Use a ruler to mark diagonally from one corner to the opposite corner. I'm using a regular pen because it doesn't show later. Add a couple of pins, then sew on each side of the marked line with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Cut right along the marked line. Repeat all these steps for the other 2 5-inch squares. At this point, you should have 4 half-square triangle units. With the darker fabric on top, open each piece up and press. By starting with the darker fabric on top when you open to press your seam allowances, it will press toward the darker side and be less likely to show. Use a ruler to trim each of the half-square triangle units down to 4.5 inches. The best way is to make sure your ruler is lined up with the diagonal going through the points where the inches intersect on the ruler. Trim a tiny amount off 2 of the sides. Then rotate the block and trim the other 2 sides so your block is now 4.5 inches. I remembered after filming that I have a new rotating cutting mat and it would have been perfect to use for this block, and I'll actually link to the one I have down below along with any other supplies used in this video. Lay each of your pieces out as shown. Now it's time to sew them together. Start by placing the first 2 pieces right sides together and sew to attach with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press the piece open. You want to press one row's seams in one direction and the next row in the opposite direction so the seams will nest together nicely. Add the 3rd piece in the row so it's right sides together and sew to attach. Give the seam a press. Repeat the same process to sew together the 2nd and 3rd rows. Then attach the 3 rows together, pressing with your iron after each seam. Your friendship star block is complete. It should measure 12.5 by 12.5 inches right now and will be 12 inches when it is sewn into the finished sampler quilt. So make sure to take a picture of your block and share it with the hashtag sampler sew along so that we can all see it, and go ahead and pick out your fabrics for the next block, which is shown here on the screen in gray. You can find the entire sampler sew along playlist link right over here to the side, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on those upcoming videos. And until next time, happy sewing.